Vishen Lakhiani provides the opportunity to rewrite your life and everything that goes along with it in his book, The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. In the book, he shows you how to avoid traps in belief, question outdated rules for life, awaken your consciousness to things that really matter, and then transform your world through extraordinary living. Here's what you'll learn about in this book summary. How a system of rules from society has shaped you to be ordinary. How to change your beliefs and actions to focus on what really matters. And the amazing life that's available to you when you recode your life and your thinking. Here's a few crucial quotes before we jump into the first big idea. Quote, "There is actually a methodology that anyone can employ, a code you can learn that will catapult your life into the realm of the extraordinary." Quote, "One of the keys to being extraordinary is knowing what rules to follow and what rules to break. Outside the rules of physics and the rules of law, all other rules are open to questioning." Quote, "When I think about the extraordinary people I know, their uniqueness is that they are driven by a vision so big that they're operating beyond the conventional limitations of work and life. Their energy is inherently positive, and they pour it into a mission that they're passionate about." Big idea number 1, living beyond the culturescape. Quote, "What if life was not meant to be safe? Instead, what if it was meant to be a beautiful joyride with ups and downs as we take off the training wheels of the culturescape and try out new things outside of what is practical and realistic?" Unquote. Culturescape is a new word, one of a handful created by Lakhiani to explain the systems and expectations for living that have been developed by society. These are not physical rules such as gravity or temperature or the structure of the earth, but rather these are relative truths that have been passed down for generations. Belief in them does not make them true, but acceptance of them has been nearly universal. Unfortunately, many of these are no longer useful, but people cling to them as if they were absolute truth. While these rules, things many people believe they should be doing, were commonly set up for the safety and good of society, their acceptance is now creating people who are living far below the possibility of an extraordinary life, far below their potential. In contrast, Lakhiani's investigations into extraordinary people's lives has shown a common thread. All of them questioned their culturescape. As he says in the book, as he outlines these different laws for extraordinary living, his first law is, quote, "Transcend the culturescape." Extraordinary minds, he says, are good at seeing the culturescape and are able to selectively choose the rules and conditions to follow versus those to question or ignore. Therefore, they tend to take the path less traveled and innovate on the idea of what it means to truly live. Unquote. Big idea number 2. No more B rules. That is, bullshit rules. Quote, "Extraordinary people think differently, and they don't let their society's B rules stop them from advocating for a better world for themselves." Unquote. Now, B rules are another set of words that are from Lakhiani's vocabulary here. It's a new word that's common throughout the book, and what it basically is the B in B rule stands for bullshit. Bullshit rule that you adopt to simplify your understanding of the world. And now B rules are generally outdated, but society has been programmed to blindly accept them. This acceptance sets a course for a less than extraordinary life, and as such, has got to be questioned and often rejected. Common B rules include the expectation that everyone needs a college degree to be successful, that marriage should be restricted to the same religion or race, that everyone must follow one religion, and that success demands hard work. Now, these B rules have been installed in you through childhood teachings, the status given to authority figures to influence you, your need to fit in with society, the general acceptance of the B rules by society, and even your own insecurities that lead you to explain life using B rules. As Lakhiani says, some rules aren't useful anymore or were never true to begin with. It's time to uninstall what is not working. When someone questions a B rule, they may be seen as a misfit, but anyone successful in challenging them will create a permanent and beneficial dent within the culturescape. So law number 2 in the extraordinary mind is to question the B rules. Extraordinary minds question the B rules when they feel those B rules are out of alignment with their dreams and desires. They recognize that much of the way the world works is due to people blindly following B rules that have long passed their expiration date. The first step in challenging a B rule is to uninstall it in your own mind. And once you've done this, you can create external pressure to challenge it in society. You can use Lakhiani's B rule test to separate good rules from B rules. Ask if the rule is based on trust and hope in humanity. Question those that imply that humanity is generally bad. Next, you want to ask, does it violate the golden rule? Does it generate reciprocal value, or does it limit people in any way, such as racism or sexism? And then the third question is, did I take it on from culture or religion? Has it always been passed down just because, or does the rule bother you? You don't have to follow it. Ask if it's based on rational choice or contagion. Rational choice offers good rules. Contagion is just acceptance by the masses. And the last question is this: does it serve my happiness? This is a key sentiment throughout the entire book. Happy people live better lives, they give more, and make a difference in the world. Your happiness is incredibly important, and B rules that restrict your happiness are just not beneficial. Taking apart the B rules in your own life is going to be a challenge. You're not always going to get good feedback from those around you as you question things that most people just blindly accept. However, this is the beginning of creating a powerful life for yourself. Since you're deciding what rules you'll follow, your life is going to have to be up to you. Big idea number 3, hacking yourself. Quote, the single most effective model of reality you can adopt right now is the idea that your models of reality are swappable. Unquote. When you begin to question B rules and create your own life's rules, you begin to live an empowered, positive life that provides some insulation from the culturescape that we all exist in. This process is called conscious engineering. It is the act of choosing what you will let in from the culturescape and what you'll reject. Feeling down and out can be the best opportunity for personal growth. Lakhiani found amazing success in a life-sucking job by learning to listen to his intuition, meditate, and focus on connecting with people. These skills continue to benefit him when he moved on. His background in computer engineering inspired him to see humans in a similar way, as containing parts that can be identified and reworked or hacked for optimal performance. People are always ready to upgrade the operating systems for their electronics, and it's commonly understood that this leads to better, faster, and smarter electronics. The same concept can be applied to human beings. Conscious engineering is an operating system for the human mind. There are 2 parts to your quote-unquote system. The first is your beliefs. This is like your hardware. You can swap out what doesn't work and replace it with better beliefs and understandings. Changing what you believe about the world leads to great things. There's scientific proof that your mind is actually powerful enough to change your body, your biochemistry. Creating the best models of reality is like having the best operating system. As opportunities and needs change, you'll have more opportunities to upgrade by changing your models of reality. The second part to your system, so to speak, keeping within the computer analogy, is the way you live your software. Everyone has habits and routines that are part of their days. They are all based on beliefs. How you eat, how you work, how you handle money, how you raise your kids, all of these are based on your belief system. So, as Lakhiani writes, law number 3 here is to practice consciousness engineering. Extraordinary minds understand that their growth depends on 2 things: their models of reality and their systems for living. They carefully curate the most empowering models and systems and frequently update themselves. Most people have models of reality and systems for living that limit them. They've been created by external programming. Bad beliefs cause bad habits, and there is not a place for conscious practice. When these are changed, often through epiphany or insight, growth occurs. Choose to always be ready to adopt new models of reality and systems for living whenever necessary. In short, you should view yourself as always ready for change and growth. As your beliefs change, your systems will have to change to maintain alignment with your beliefs. This dynamic process leads to rapid learning and rapid growth. You might also discover new systems through your personal journey that pair well with your beliefs. That's a good thing. There is an active process you can engage in as you practice conscious engineering. Take a look at Lakhiani's 12 areas of balance and evaluate your life in each. The areas are: number 1, your love relationship; number 2, friendships; number 3, your adventures; number 4, your environment; number 5, your health and fitness; number 6, your intellectual life; number 7, your skills; number 8, your spiritual life; number 9, your career; number 10, your creative life; number 11, your family life; and finally, number 12, your community life. This evaluation provides a baseline of sorts for improvement in every area. So how are you doing in each? Try rating yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 in each area, and then get grateful about where you're thriving and start working on a plan of action for where you're not. Big idea number 4, the beliefs of extraordinary minds. Often, your models of reality are not conscious thoughts until something happens to bring your awareness to them. This awareness has got to occur so you can evaluate your beliefs and avoid models that are not useful to you. Many of these models have been carried since childhood and are disempowering. Removing these counterproductive models and replacing them with empowering ones leads to positive change. As we believe these things to be true, writes Lakhiani, they become true. Your beliefs will have a positive impact on yourself as well as those around you. So, law number 4 in the code of the extraordinary mind is to rewrite your models of reality. Extraordinary minds have models of reality that empower them to feel good about themselves and powerful in shifting the world to match the visions in their minds. When interacting with children, you've got many opportunities to help them establish positive models of reality. Ask what questions instead of why questions. Take time each night to have them share one thing they are grateful for and one thing they love about themselves. If they struggle with this, give them validating, honest statements that encourage the practices of gratitude and loving oneself. Extraordinary minds practice gratitude. Take time every day to think of at least 3 things that you're grateful for about yourself and in your own life. Think about the things you've done and have been proud of today and get grateful about them. Hurtful models of reality from childhood can be healed by giving ourselves the love and the appreciation that we once craved. Now, there are 4 models that Lakhiani believes apply to everyone and can replace old models. Here they are. Number 1, we all possess human intuition. Number 2, there is power in mind-body healing. Number 3, happiness at work is the new productivity. And number 4, it's possible to be spiritual, but not religious. Now, take these new models and apply them to the 12 areas of balance, and you'll see opportunities for removing disempowering models in your own low-scoring areas. You'll begin to be aware of areas where you need to upgrade models. To assist with this, use the following 2 questions. First, ask if the model is absolute truth. That is, true for everyone, everywhere. Or is it relative truth, different in different cultures? Remember, it's okay to challenge models, and it's important to listen to your intuition. Second, ask, does this really mean what I think it means? Again, the first question you want to ask is whether it's absolute truth or relative truth. And then the second question is, does this really mean what I think it means? Big idea number 5, using systems to get yourself out of deep doo-doo. Quote, too many of us are so busy doing that we never step back and think about how we're doing or why we're doing it. I call this the doo-doo trap. You're so busy doing what needs to be done, you don't really know whether your systems for living might be obsolete or even, pun intended, absolute crap. Unquote. Systems are routines we create to get things done. Many of them develop out of our models and beliefs and are outdated or no longer optimal. Swapping out old models and systems and applying new ones creates significant positive lifestyle changes. Extraordinary people employ well-defined, structured, and continuously optimized systems. You need to make the time to keep your systems optimized. Upgrading your systems begins with discovering new ones. Your speed of upgrading is like a refresh rate, so to speak. You can create set points for your systems that help you see when a system needs closer attention or an upgrade. Lakhiani uses the example of push-ups as a set point for his physical health. Whenever he struggles to do 50 push-ups, he immediately creates a focused plan to improve his health and slightly ups his set point at the same time. This ensures his system for health remains as effective and efficient as possible. Identify the systems in your own life where you'll benefit from set points, and then create achievable set points for yourself. Seek out resources that will enable you to continuously examine and upgrade your systems. Law number 5, Lakhiani writes, is to upgrade your systems for living. Extraordinary minds consistently spend time discovering, upgrading, and measuring new systems for living applied to life, work, heart, and soul. They are in a perpetual state of growth and self-innovation. Unquote. Big idea number 6, bending reality. Quote, having mastered the art of liberating yourself from the culturescape, you are ready for a new level of mastery. Mastery of your own inner self. You're now ready to recode yourself into a new type of human being and to make your own dent in the universe. Unquote. Once you are no longer ruled by B rules or bullshit rules, you will find yourself wanting to offer more to the world. The start of this involves redefining success, in particular, happiness and the attainment of goals. They begin to arrive as a result of attaining balance between the happiness you feel and the vision you have for your future. This state is what Lakhiani calls bending reality. It almost seems as if the universe has my back when I bend reality, he says, and luck seems to be on my side. Happiness is available to you now. You don't have to wait for it. In fact, being joyful benefits you and the world around you. The key is to not tie your happiness to your goals. The ideal state involves having a great vision for the future that you're working toward and being happy right now. When you are happy with what you already have, you are more motivated to keep moving forward. Simply pursuing your vision makes you happy. You can increase your happiness by following a vision that excites you. Law number 6 is to bend reality. Extraordinary minds are able to bend reality. They have bold and exciting visions for the future, yet their happiness is not tied to these visions. They are happy in the now. This balance allows them to move toward their visions at a much faster rate while having a ton of fun along the way. To outsiders, they seem lucky. Big idea number 7. Level up your happiness. The next term Lakhiani creates is blissipin. A blissipin is the daily discipline of bliss. So being happy is an important part of bending reality, as he says, and it's a skill that anyone can acquire. Happiness comes in 3 types. The first is derived from unique human experiences, like having sex, winning a game, closing a big deal, and even chemically induced happiness. It's short-term. Happiness can also come, however, from growth and awakening. This type of happiness comes from reaching higher states of consciousness. It can come from things like mindfulness practice and spirituality. And the third type of happiness comes from meaning and a positive view of the future. Now, there's a system to follow to achieve greater happiness, and this is blissipin. Part of blissipin is practicing gratitude and is scientifically proven to offer many benefits in addition to increased happiness. One way to practice gratitude is to look to the past and then just take time to be grateful for how far you've come. This provides you the opportunity to find gratitude in your present situation, in your present moment. Begin and end each day with gratitude. Find 3 to 5 things in your personal life and in your work life to be grateful for. And then share this practice with people around you. In addition to practicing gratitude, practicing forgiveness is an essential part of blissipin. This requires some preparation, though. First, make a list of everyone who has hurt you or wronged you. Next, focus on one of these and take a few minutes to go back to that time. Feel the hurtful emotions. After a few minutes, picture the person being in front of you and actually try to feel compassion for them. Really do it. Ask yourself, what did I learn from this? How did this situation make my life better? Doing this actually helps you to change your focus to one where you believe that all people who have entered your life have brought an important lesson. It doesn't always have to be a positive thing for someone to teach you an important lesson. Somebody can rob you, and you can learn from that sometimes maybe it's not a good idea to be so gullible and to believe everybody. So you always want to ask yourself, what did I learn from this? How did this situation make my life better? And next, you want to think about the hurt or pain the person who wronged you might have been experiencing that caused them to be so hurtful. Allow your compassion for them to grow. As the days pass and you continue this process, you'll begin to feel less negative towards the person. And it may take some time, but eventually you'll feel comfortable forgiving somebody. And when you forgive someone else, you're actually taking a huge weight off of your own shoulders because you're not putting the energy towards thinking about it anymore. You're not putting towards the emotional energy of thinking, oh my gosh, I hate this person. Oh my gosh, this person robbed me. This person screwed me over. No, you've just forgiven them. It's lighter on you now. You don't have to worry about it. Now, when the pain of experiences is no longer devastating and you're actually able to forgive, you reach a level of being what Lakhiani calls unfuckwithable, which is when you truly practice peace, when you're truly at peace and in touch with yourself. Nothing anyone says or does bothers you, and no negativity can touch you. You no longer waste energy on negative people when you're in this state. You still defend yourself, and you even take action against hurt, but it doesn't stall your life. Now, the final system in Blisscipline is giving. Giving makes other people happy, and it makes us happy. Make a list of what you can give to others. Be specific about how you can give and where you can offer help, and follow your intuition about your giving and be active with your list. And by the way, it doesn't have to be a financial contribution. You can give by means of just praying for somebody. You can give by volunteering for somebody. You can give by sending a text message to somebody saying, I love you, or I appreciate you. That's also giving. So law number 7, as Lakhiani writes in his book, is to live in Blisscipline. Extraordinary minds understand that happiness comes from inside. It comes from within. They begin with happiness in the now and use it as a fuel to drive all their other visions and intentions for themselves and the world. Big idea number 8, create your vision. Goal setting can often be confused as chasing B rules. That is, bullshit rules. Now, people may be making means goals instead of end goals. Means goals are things that are means to an end, like graduating from college or choosing a career. End goals, in contrast, are about experiencing, traveling, and giving. Things that give you joy and meaning. That's what end goals are about. When you let go of means goals, you can begin to focus on what your heart really wants. A means goal may be having a specific job, whereas an end goal is to have fun at that job. Is to have fun at whatever you do, whatever job that may be. End goals will help you avoid B rules and culturescape. Means goals are goals with a so in them. Doing one thing so you can have or do something else. They are often a should, something the B rules say you should do. End goals come from your heart and are a joy to pursue. Often, they are a feeling rather than an accomplishment. End goals can be 3 types: experiences, growth, and contribution. Ask yourself what you want in these areas. Your 3 most important questions to get yourself there are as follows. Number 1, what experiences do you want to have in this lifetime? Number 2, how do you want to grow? Number 3, how do you want to contribute? Again, number 1, what experiences do you want to have in this lifetime? Number 2, how do you want to grow? And number 3, how do you want to contribute? These match perfectly with the 12 areas of balance that Lakhiani outlines in the book. And law number 8 here, then, is to create a vision for your future. Extraordinary minds create a vision for their future that is decidedly their own and free from expectations of the culturescape. Their vision is focused on end goals that strike a direct chord with their happiness. Write down what you dream and hope for under the headings of experiences, growth, and contribution. Display them and take any opportunity to share this exercise with other people if you can. Lakhiani has these quote-unquote blueprints for the soul, as he calls them, from every one of his hundreds of employees displayed where they can support and be inspired by one another. You can practice giving by offering things that help others grow within their blueprints. Big idea number 9, weather any storm. Law number 9 is to be unfuckwithable. Extraordinary minds do not need to seek validation from outside opinion or through the attainment of goals. Instead, they are truly at peace with themselves and the world around them. They live fearlessly, immune to criticism or praise, and fueled by their own inner happiness and self-love. Unquote. When you've created a good end goal, it will be something completely within your control. It's something no one can take away from you. For example, an end goal like to be consistently surrounded by love is within your control. A goal like to be madly in love with Dan depends on someone else and is outside of your control. To be able to travel depends on many things. However, a goal like I will always have the most amazing and beautiful human experiences is a wonderful end goal. Another part of being unfuckwithable is to lose your need to seek validation or love from others and to judge them when you perceive that they are not giving you what you need. This comes from knowing that you are enough, that you are whole, and from deeply loving yourself. A technique to practice loving yourself is to spend time every day in front of a mirror, looking yourself deep in the eyes, genuinely, while repeating, I love you. Also, regularly remind yourself of the things you love about yourself. Become consciously present whenever fear and anxiety start to crowd your thoughts. Focus on the tangible things that you can see, that you can feel, that you can hear and smell around you until the anxiety or fear dissipates. As Lakhiani writes, knowing we are enough gives us the courage to do more, do better, and to do our best. When we learn to be unfuckwithable, the biggest fears that hold so many people back no longer bother us. We boldly pursue big dreams and goals. Big idea number 10, your quest. Quote, the most extraordinary people in the world do not have careers. What they have is a calling. Unquote. When you have a calling, you have a mission to contribute to humanity. It begins when you clarify your end goals. As you speak out your end goals, life, opportunities, and people begin to appear to assist you on your journey. You've let go of B-rules and of the demands of Culturescape, and you've made room in your life for good things to come. At this point, opportunities will present themselves, but you still have to actively accept and pursue them. The universe doesn't care who's going to change the world. It just wants someone who will seize the idea and run with it. When you reach this level, you begin to see the connectedness of life. Your intuition strengthens and you trust and follow it. Your vision motivates you. You see events around you, even negative ones, as chances to learn, grow, and reach your goals. Law number 10, then, is to embrace your quest. Extraordinary minds are motivated by a quest or calling, a drive to create some positive change in the world. This drive propels them forward in life and helps them to gain meaning and make a meaningful contribution. There are a few B-rules that can derail you at this point, by the way. Watch out for B-rules that say you need to be an entrepreneur to be successful or that you need a specific type of career. These are not end goals. Discovering your quest is incredibly important. So think about a time in your life when you experienced heaven on earth, as he calls it, as Lakhiani calls it. What was happening when you experienced heaven on earth? Imagine that you could just wave your magic wand and create this heaven on earth. What does it mean to you? What is heaven on earth to you? And then note what steps you can take today to actually start making that happen. Write down what you see, think, and feel as you do this. And as you begin to live this life, you'll begin to ask others, especially your own children if you have any or plan to have some, what positive mark do you want to leave on the world in your lifetime? Remember the steps for an extraordinary life. Leave the culturescape, discard the B rules, practice conscious engineering, choose models of reality, create systems for living, bend reality, practice discipline, focus on your end goals, not your means, and be unfuckwithable. Closing notes. The key takeaway from this book is this. To live an extraordinary life, you will have to discard outdated notions and courageously embrace a life where you follow your true spirit into greatness. Actionable insights. Identify and then eliminate the influences of culturescape and the habit of following B rules. Be conscious about the models of reality and systems for living that you choose. Practice bending reality and the aspects of discipline, that is, gratitude, forgiveness, and loving yourself. And finally, create end goals and enjoy your journey as you live an extraordinary, unfuckwithable life.